Have you ever felt that gut-wrenching feeling of fear maybe holding you back from something important? Maybe it's the fear of failing, maybe the fear of judgment, or I don't know, just maybe a nervous flutter in your chest you get before taking the leap of faith. But what if I told you today that fear could be the key to unlocking your greatest potential? Hey guys, I'm Mark. Welcome to Hit the Mark today. And here's the kicker. What if courage isn't overcoming fear at all, but maybe learning how to dance with it? Yeah, that's a good one. So today I'm going to dive into the mind-blowing truths behind fear and courage. And in the video, we're going to sort of expose some of the myths that might be keeping you stuck and reveal how fear and courage, I believe, can work together to help you grow, maybe thrive, and conquer life's toughest challenges. So hang with me because you're about to see fear in a whole new light and find out the courage and take action no matter what. So let's talk about fear itself. You know, it's something we feel at one point or another, right? It's fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of unknown. It can come in many forms, and when we feel it, we often think it's something that we try to avoid at all costs. But what if I told you fear has a purpose? It's actually, it's a biological response designed to protect us. That's what fear is. And when you feel fear, your brain activates this fight or flight response. It's an ancient survival mechanism that really was meant to help us stay alive. And in the face of real danger, fear helps you make those quick decisions like, should I run away or should I stand and fight? It really does sharpen your senses and keeps you alert. But think about today's world. It's a little different. Most of the fear we face isn't really from physical danger. It's often the fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of stepping into the unknown, like I said. We feel fear at maybe the workplace or social situations, or maybe when we make those big life decisions, and in those moments, it's easy to think fear is a bad thing. But here's the thing. Fear is not inherently bad. It's just your brain doing what it's designed to do. And in fact, think about this. Fear is sort of an indicator that you're moving out of your comfort zone. It's like maybe a signpost on your journey that says, hey, something's new ahead. You might want to pay attention. Whether you're about to take a new challenge or speak in public or maybe just make a big change, fear is often there to signal that, I believe, growth is on your horizon. So let's think about this. So instead of maybe running from fear, what if you could start seeing it as a friend, not an enemy? What if you could reframe your fear and see it as sort of the guide that's leading you into something maybe bigger and better? So let's talk about courage too. We've all heard it. Courage is the opposite of fear, right? Well, it's the ability to act even when you're scared. But, here's where things get a little tricky. This is where, I guess you could say, the myth begins. The popular myth is that courage is the absence of fear, and that in order to be courageous, we must somehow, get rid of fear. But here's the truth. Courage doesn't mean you don't feel fear. Courage is sort of the ability to, like I said, move forward in spite of the fear you're facing. So think about it. Some of the most courageous people in history, well, of course they were scared out of their minds, but they acted anyways. Talk about Rosa Parks, for example. She was terrified when she refused to give up her seat on that bus, but she made a stand. Or look at Nelson Mandela. For years he lived in the fear of being caught, imprisoned, or even killed, but he continued to fight for justice. They acted with fear in their hearts, but their courage help them change the world. So where does this idea come from that courage means you should be fearless? I don't know. It's I guess you could say it's because of the romanticized bravery in the movies or stories. We see heroes with steely resolve that charge into battle without hesitation. But the truth is, courage is often messy. It's uncomfortable. It's about not about feeling fearless. It's about dealing with fear and doing it anyway. In fact, courage to me is emotional mastery, the ability to acknowledge fear and move through. It's the courage to feel and still decide to act. The more you recognize the truth, the more you empower yourself to show up in the moments where maybe fear is present and take some decisive action. Now let's dig into the relationship a little bit between fear and courage. See how they can work together. Fear and courage are not really opposite. In fact, they're two sides of the same coin, I think. You think about it. If you've ever faced a difficult situation, you probably noticed that fear and courage, they often appear together. Fear is a signal, that we're about to do something important, sort of a natural companion to courage, but because without fear, we wouldn't need to summon the courage to act. Imagine going through life without fear. There would be no reason to push beyond your comfort zone, maybe to take risks or to face your challenges head on. It's fear that really does trigger our desire for courage. And here's the powerful part. Fear doesn't have to paralyze you. It can be like a motivator. When fear shows up, it's like come on, it's an invitation to grow. That's what I would think. And as we go to the end of today's video, gang, I want you to remember this. Fear isn't something you need to avoid or escape from. It's a powerful tool. It's a messenger that tells you when growth is about to happen. Every time you feel fear sort of creeping in, take a moment to acknowledge it, understand it, and then use it as fuel for your courage. And courage isn't about waiting for fear to disappear. It's about stepping forward with it. The most courageous people aren't those who never feel fear, but those who decide, despite their fear, to keep moving forward. So think about this the next time you face something challenging. Whether it's a difficult conversation, maybe a big decision, or a personal fear, don't be discouraged by the fear you feel. Instead, let it be like the spark that ignites your courage to step forward and take action. You have the power to choose how you respond to fear. Choose courage, choose growth. And remember this, you're not alone on this journey. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to becoming the person God created you to be. Hey guys, thanks for joining me today on the Hit the Mark today. If this message resonated with you a little bit, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who maybe needs it to hear it. And as always, I encourage you to maybe take what you learned today and put it into action, because, the world really does need more courageous peoples like you. Now go hit the mark today.